So today I want to talk about something that is really important, and that is what kind of community do you have outside of work? And when I mean outside of work, it's like a lot of times people don't have much of a community outside of work, and that could be that could lead to depression pretty quickly. And this is especially true when we're talking about military veterans and military members transitioning out to the civilian world. Because when military members transition out, they're leaving a whole lot of lifestyle and identity behind. Because when they transition out, they're leaving a lot of that camaraderie and that esprit de corps and all the meetings and the all the stuff that happened in the military is a lot of times gone. And if you don't have that solid foundation of a community that you can really rely on and really trust and really just hang out with, it's going to be rough. So, if you are a military member who's transitioning out, and this is something that I think it's important to really start building up and really start growing early on, as early as possible in your military career. Now, if you're close to retirement or close to transitioning out, I would take this advice and try to build this right now, and that is a some kind of connection list. Your contacts, everybody that you know or you like, especially, start getting their information, their contact information. Connect with them on social media, whether it be Facebook or Instagram or Snapchat or YouTube or whatever social media that you're on. Connect with them, get their information, get their phone numbers, find out if you can text them or if you can call them. Because when you get out, you're always going to need people to rely on. And this goes for if you don't even have anything to do with the military as well. You need that community outside of work because a lot of times, when we get talking about this, I've heard it referred to as a tribe or a community or, some kind of club. That is so important because when we're a part of that community or a club, we are we have that sense of belonging, that feeling of purpose. And when military members transition out, they lose a lot of that because in the military, it's like a big fraternity, all right, or a sorority, depending on if you're a man or a woman. And it's that close knit, that brotherhood, sisterhood that we have where we can identify with other military members. And when we get out in the civilian world, if we don't have those types of connections, it could be lonely. It could be like we're floating around on our own little island. So it's very important to establish those communities and establish and create your tribe before you transition out. And with today's technology, this is really easy. I mean, I don't care where you're retiring from, the base or the post or the port that you're retiring from. Wherever you live in the world, you can stay connected with close friends in the military via, you know, Zoom calls, FaceTime, all that other stuff. And that didn't exist 15 years ago. So if you're talking about veterans that are have been out in the civilian world for any kind of time, especially 15, 20 years, they've probably lost a lot of those connections that they had in the military. And that could be very sad and it could be very dangerous for military to get out and be caught on that island because we need people. As human beings, we are made for community. Now, the best thing that I have found is get connected with some kind of club or gym or local church. For me, the local church has been a blessing in every which way but loose. I mean, I've got some of my best friends in there. I have people that I can talk and really be vulnerable with. And we have kept that. I've kept those close relationships. But there's also other close relationships that I've developed. I was a part of a large mastermind several years ago. And what that mastermind did is it was a group of like 10 or 11 guys. And the mastermind as a whole had like 150 guys in it, but we were broken up into 15 groups of 10. And we met on a Zoom call every week. And those other 10 guys, they became like brothers to me. I mean, I can't even begin to tell you some of the deep, vulnerable conversations that we've had in those mastermind calls. And we've helped each other through tough times. We've helped each other in business, in work, in careers, in prayer requests, real life issues. And to me, that is the absolute best thing that you can ever have. I'm a part of two right now, and they are both amazing. The Thursday morning group that I'm with, I call it my Bible study guys. You know, we refer to each other as a mastermind Bible study because it's kind of a combination of two. We work through some Bible verses and some Bible books, but we also, there's sometimes where we don't look at scripture. We might pray, but if somebody has an issue or a prayer request or they're going through a challenging time, well, all we're going to do is we're going to pour into them for that hour or hour and a half. We meet for 90 minutes every Thursday morning at 6 a.m. And it's wonderful. I don't know what I would do without those guys. And we've been meeting every Thursday for about 4 years, and we hardly ever miss a Thursday. I mean, we hardly ever miss. It is very rare for one of us to miss a call because we show up for each other and we're there for each other. So if that's something that you think you could develop before you get out of the military, man, it'd be great to do that. The other thing is there are mastermind, like I have a mastermind group in my business, and I'm going to be starting up a new one soon. So if you're interested in that, shoot me a message or DM me or put a note in the comment on this video because I'll keep you in mind if you want to get into something like that. And I'm going to form a group specifically since a lot of my focus is on transitioning military members. I'm going to start a mastermind that's just going to have transitioning military, you know, either a year or two from transition all the way up to maybe a few years after transition. But I want them to all be kind of in the same boat. But I also want some people to be able to offer some advice, and I want people to be able to ask for advice as they need it. And what better place than having a group of guys, girls, women, it doesn't matter, a group where they've done that, they've been there, they've done that, and they understand you. And that's the key of being in a community. When you're in a community, a really effective community, you're in a community of people that really know, like, and trust you. You're with a community of people that really just understand you, they get you. So if you show up and you're just not in the best mood, or if you have something strange, they're going to be able to recognize that and say, "Hey, Paul, what's going on today? You know, you're quiet." I mean, anybody who knows me knows that if I get quiet, there's something wrong, all right? Because I got the gift of gab, as you can tell by the length of some of these videos. But anyway, it's just really important because it's one thing to never have gone in the military, and that is your life in the civilian world. And this goes for civilian as well. If you've never had anything to do with military, it's so important to get and have a community. And again, the same things apply. If you are interested in some kind of mastermind like that, get a hold of me. Either I have one or I know a good one that you can get into. But also, like I mentioned earlier, your local churches, gyms, clubs. You got the VFW. You have, you know, the Elks Club. You have all kinds of American Legion. You have all kinds of clubs and communities out there. And it's important to know, especially when you're transitioning out of the military, that you don't have to do this alone. There's people out there that have been through it and are going through it and are getting ready to go through it. So seek them out, build that list, and make sure that you always have that feeling of belonging